presentation. The outline for the presentation, I'm going to cover just more background on the framework, the implementation of electronic certificates, the objectives of the framework, the objectives of the electronic framework. This also partially covered by the colleagues yesterday. Then the system overview, the benefits, some have already been highlighted yesterday. Then the pillars of the electronic certificate, the implementation strategy, the capacity needs for member states, the SWOT analysis, the capacity building instruments. Then it will conclude with technical specifications for the system. Now, to highlight on the background, the electronic certificate, we are just actually moving away from processing documents manually to an electronic form. The framework was approved by SADC regional, by the Trade Facilitating Program during the 16th meeting of Ministerial Task Force, which was held in Gaborone in March 2016. So the program aimed to addressing the impediments of the movement of goods across the regional trade, to facilitate activities and essential easy movement of goods. And one is also just to ensure that we are reducing cost of doing business within the region. So what triggered this? So we are trying to move away from manual processing, pre-printed forms, physical signatures, and stamps. So then we are trying to move into an electronic form, so we are processing everything online. And this is done with the help of GIZ, who is also a development partner for the SADC. Then what are the objectives of the framework? Is to provide guidelines, guiding principles on implementation of the regional exchange of electronic certificate within SADC member states, with the assumption that the processing and issuance of electronic certificate is at the national level within member states. So the document looks at the approach to be considered for electronic certificate data exchange. It also details system requirements to enable the implementation of electronic certificate of origins for the exchange interface. Continuing with the objectives, one is just to ease movement of goods. It was highlighted by my colleagues earlier on yesterday. And it was also just to improve regional intertrade. And as we move on with digital strategy within the region, and also just to ensure that we move away from paperless work, which we will usually embark on. Looking at the system overview, see the presentation is still not yet up, but we can continue. So an application is lodged within an electronic system as compared to a manual. So also the issuing authorities do due diligence to ensure that those that are importing, they conform to certain standards. The colleagues have already highlighted that from Zambia and also from Eswatini. We must always do due diligence so that we ensure that the products conform to certain standards. Then once an electronic certificate is approved, a document is generated within the system. It's also electronically signed, and it's also imported. It's also transmitted to the importing country. Importing country then verifies the sender of the electronic document received, process it within the system, and sends an acknowledgement to the exporting country. Continuing with the system overview. So an agent, a broker within a country that is importing, creates then an importation declaration within the electronic certificate of origin. The importing country then will cross-check the reference and confirm utilization. The certificate will then be written off and sent to the exporting country for reconciliation. After that, Post clearance is done. Query and response are also done where applicable, and is also done within the system or the portal. Looking at the benefit of electronic certificate of origin, the colleagues I think have highlighted this. Some of them is efficient origin verification. This is to ensure customs authority ability to verify goods of origin, speeding up customs procedures, improved record management. Instead of us dealing with paperwork and always have to follow up who has the document, is it signed, is it approved, is it whose desk, it's easy to trace within the system. It's also going to improve on fraud and accuracy. Perhaps I've signed at the wrong place where I'm not supposed to sign now, somebody must come re-sign a new document or so. We are trying to ensure that the data that is being handled is very accurate. And lastly, we are looking at transparent and secure trade. So the electronic certificate of origin fosters a transparent and secure trade environment. Hence, we are building trust within member states, and we also enable member states to trade within each other. Looking at the pillars, so for us to start off with the process, at least somebody must be registered. So this can be done via an online registration. A document is also additional supporting document are submitted online. Then physical verification and due diligence must also be done just to ensure that the traders confirm to what they are agreeing on. What the system also support querying if perhaps there are other additional information that need to be supported, and response will also be given to the traders. Then approval, once that is done, there are approvals, then there is rejection, notification to an exporter. This is very important so that we also don't have people that are abusing the system. Once the approval is granted, they don't go doing other illegal things. Once that is detected, the certificate can also be revoked, and feedback will be given to the exporter. Second, another pillar on the application, an online e-certificate. So it also includes capturing of information and agreed data harmonization. And the application also consider preferential certificate requirements. On the approval, also there will be designated user who will be approving the applications. Each member should also do due diligence and risk management to ensure in the assurance of the electronic certificate of origin. Once the application is approved, then the exporters are issued with an electronic document instead of them visiting the physical document or the physical office so that they can receive the physical document. Then looking at the regional level, so we are promoting data exchange so that within member states it's easy to do statistics, how member states are trading within each other, and they're actually doing it using they are doing this in a certain way that each member state is able to collect data, and they are doing it in a uniform and informed and standardized way of exchanging data. Also at destination member state, there is no need for physical hard copies, so everything is done electronically. In terms of communication mechanism, everything is also done electronically, whether it's notification to importers, to exporters, everything is done electronically, or in any case where the application is rejected, everything is done on the system and electronically via emails. Looking at the implementation strategy, it is to pilot regional data exchange within selected countries. I believe now we do have Namibia, Zambia, Eswatini, and Zambia and others. So the reason of looking at selected member states is to look at quick wins so that we don't have to reinvent the wheel. We look at low-hanging fruits so that it's easy to start over and kick off with the project. We do have short-term, mid-term, and long-term implementation strategy. So the short-term we are looking for at almost 0 to 1 year. Mid-term, we are looking at development of bilateral interfaces among member states, which can also be between 1 year and 3 years. Long-term, we are looking at established a central platform for exchanging custom e-documents within the region, which can take about 3 to 4 years. Also, as part of us implementing this, we must look at the readiness within member states, and an assessment must also be conducted to look at the readiness of the country. And we do have indexes that assist us to look at how the country is ready for this implementation. So in terms of indexing criteria, we are looking at system availability, the system within the country that allows us to do that interoperability between the systems, or everything is done manually. In an event where, in terms of rating, if you have system available, so the rating is 1. If it's under development, it's 0.5, and if there is no system, the score is 0. We are also looking at technical support on the ground. Do we have people that are able to develop the system or do customization so that we are able to do the data exchange? So the rating is either a 1 or 0. This number? Just give me a second. Number 19. Next. Capacity needs. We can go to capacity needs assessment. Needs assessment. Slide 20. Yeah, that one. Thank you. So then what are we looking at? We are looking at an enabling environment. We must also ensure that we have policies that support our work. We have legal instruments. This is to enable us to do the certificates of origin implementation. We must also have organizational capacity. As I've alluded earlier on, we need to have technical people that can do the work within member states, and we must also ensure that the stakeholders are buying into what we want to do. We must also have individual skills. These are the people that are going to do the real work, the coding and the integration, so that the systems are able to talk to each other, pull and receive data. There is also a SWOT analysis for the framework. And the strength for the framework is the regional readiness, skilled custom personnel, ongoing modernization programs, so that we ensure that we have an effective implementation. Some of the weaknesses that have been identified are infrastructure disparities, inconsistent skills level, lack of formal cooperation within member states. We must ensure that these weaknesses are addressed so that it allows us to do a proper implementation. And what are the opportunities that are foreseen within the framework? we want to do regional integration, and this is one of the pillars that will really allow us to do intertrade within the region, so that we can even move up to the next phase where exchanging data with COMESA or EAC